Sorry for the interruption. It was data that got done on my phone. I've put more. I hope 300 MBs will be sufficient. That is what I put. Then we can proceed. If all of you are still there, sorry for that interruption. I have a challenge. I put 1 GB in the night, and there's someone, my son, who uses the phone, and I used some of that data. I will continue from where we are by sharing the screen once more, and I continue from where we were. I was giving an example of a title proper, which is so long. According to the rules, we cannot omit any of the first 5 words. And you can see this is as long as it is. Hearings before the Committee on Chogom Funds, disbursed to J and M Hotel second session. So the first 5 words are untouched, but you can see the mark of omission, which is appearing there. It would mean that other parts of the title proper have been omitted. Supply a title proper for an item lacking a chief source of information from the rest of the item or a reference source or elsewhere. So we shall get materials where maybe the material is lacking the title page. According to the rules, we shall supply a title proper from the rest of the item or a reference source or elsewhere. And when this happens, then there's something they tell us to do. If no title can be found in any source, we devise a brief descriptive title. And when we devise or create a brief descriptive title, enclose such a supplied or devised title in square brackets. I'll give an example of the pictures or videos of yesterday. Seriously, nobody has a title for those videos. So you, the cataloger, will devise a title, but whatever title proper you come up with, you enclose it in square brackets. For instance, if you take the one that happened at CPS, you can come up with the title like maybe Central Police Station Terrorist Attack. And if you come up with that, you enclose it in square brackets. I believe that is a very good example. And the example I've given here, photographs of Uganda Museum. Normally, photographs don't have titles. If you take an example of, I saw some photographs of Daniel, but good enough, those photographs had the details, vote Daniel, blah, blah, blah. But you could also find he has photographs which don't have any text. So you, the cataloger, you can devise the title. If that information is not coming from the photograph, that is when we shall enclose it in square brackets. But if you derive that information from the photograph, then you don't need to include in square brackets. And this is an example where the square brackets were not necessary. So that ends the title proper, how we shall be handling the title proper. And after the title proper, previously, it was then that we would put the general material designation. In other words, indicating what kind of material it is. Is it a book? Is it a film? Is it a microfilm? That kind of information we used to include it in the general material designation, and by then it was optional. But as of now, this does not apply. It does not apply because it was replaced by Area O. And it is in Area O that we, as someone said, the volume is low. Sure. There's a button here I'm trying to press. The volume okay now, or it is your computer? I have a microphone on the headphone, which I've pressed. Confirm before I proceed. Oh, sorry, I can also adjust it using the computer. Yeah, I think now it is tamam. I've adjusted the volume using the laptop. Hey, Jita says it is okay. So numbers, you also confirm. I did not thought of it. I've put it at 69. Okay. So as I was saying that the general material designation does not apply, but still I want to emphasize that this is good for us to know what it was before what we are doing today. And indeed, I'm going to show you how we were recording the GMD. If you look at the example down here, how the poor swim. Now, this is a movie, a motion picture. So the terms we were using for movies was motion picture. And we were enclosing that in those square brackets. So it is after the title proper, which is how the poor swim, then we'll give the GMD. Martha, you are raising your hand, but I would prefer you type in the chat and I respond. Unless when you insist you want to talk, but type in the chat and then I respond if you have an issue. So this is how we were recording the general material designation. However, now what happens, what you see as motion picture, or what you see as video recording, I'll take these two, or even the third one. Let me first look at all these examples. These are examples which show how the GMD used to be recorded. But these GMDs were replaced with Area O. So how the poor swim, this is a motion picture. Scared straight, it is a video recording. Vumilia, everybody knows this is music. Of course, this is music by Chameleon. So this is the title proper, but this would be the GMD, telling you what Vumilia is. So the GMD was in one way telling you what kind of material you are looking at. Then the third one is blood pressure, and this is a slide. Maybe it is a PowerPoint slide. Now, what I want to demonstrate that whereas before we would indicate the GMD in this way, enclosing it in square brackets. What I want to do today, using what material you already have, it is already there in Mwere, the Area O PDF document. If we have a motion picture, if we have a video recording, if we have music, what is the Area O term that we use? And we don't use it after the title proper. We use it before. So I'm going to check and see motion picture, video recording, music. What do we use now? I'll stop the share. I'll go back to my content. This content is already online. I'm just confirming that I don't have it here. And then I pick it from Mwere. I hope you are not having issues with Mwere. Yesterday, Mwere was off. I have it. Now I will share. I'm sharing my screen. So that is the area or document, content form and media type. And what I need from this document is the terms. In fact, the content form term that we shall use for video recordings. And these are the terms, content form terms, their definition and scope. Definitely it cannot be data set, image, movement, but music is there. Content expressed through ordered tones or sounds in succession, in combination, and in temporal relationships to produce a composition. Music can be written, therefore that is when we use notation, performed, or recorded. And the examples include written music such as scores or parts and recorded music. So Vumilia is recorded music. And therefore, the term is similar. But this time around, we would give this term in area O before we give the title proper. Then there was video recording. Let's see. I don't see anything like video recording among these. So it means we no longer use that term. What then shall we use? There are multiple content forms, mixed content where 3 or more forms are applicable. Other content form, if none of the terms listed above applies to the content of the resources being described, the term other content form is given. So if it is not spoken word, it is not text, then we have sounds. If it is not sounds, the sounds, the examples include recordings of bird songs, animal calls, and sound effects. So that is when you use sounds. But what is excluded is recorded music. Even recorded human speech, you don't use sounds, you use spoken word. Program, object, music. Examples where we use the term music, there's written music, scores and parts, etc. Then movement. This is content expressed through motion. For example, the act or process of changing the position of an object or persons. Examples include dance notation, stage actions, choreography, but exclude moving images such as motion pictures. So where we add video recordings or motion pictures, we don't use movement, but we shall use image. So the term to use for films is image. And you can see examples of where we use that is motion pictures. So I hope that explains how area O replaced the general material designation. I will close that. I will close that and share our unwritten document once again. That is, if it still exists, I'll just close this, that, and that, and then share my screen one more time. So I'm sharing the GMD. So that is the GMD, which is replaced by area O. Jonathan was communicating to you in WhatsApp that those who thought I'd left I'm back. Yeah, indeed I am. It was because of data. So we can proceed. Don't just run away. GMD does not apply anymore. It was replaced by area O. In those examples, you can see instead of using video recording there, we shall put area O at the beginning image before writing the title proper, scared straight. And this applies to what happened yesterday. If an item contains parts belonging to materials falling in two or more categories in the list chosen, and if none of these is the predominant constituent of the item, give multimedia. So even this would not apply. Is the way we handle in area O, and we also read that. After title proper, we move to parallel titles. And this goes in subfield B in our Mark 21, but still in the field 245. I've given some examples already on parallel titles, but we need to look at this in more detail. A space equal sign space precedes a parallel title. In other words, if I'm to give a parallel title, assuming I'm at that point, I'll leave a space, then that equal sign, a space before giving the parallel title. This is what a space equal sign space meant. So that there will be a space there. There will be a space. I give the equal sign, then I leave another space before giving the parallel title. I'll just remove this from our screen. Parallel titles are recorded in the order found in the chief source of information. And I have an example here, Canadian Journal of Psychiatry. And you'll notice that I left a space, equal sign space, before giving other content. This might not come out well for you, but this is French for this that is in English. So it is a parallel title is the title proper, but in another language. So Canadian Journal of Psychiatry, space, equal sign space. Now this is Rev Canadien de Psychiatrie. I'll need to type that for us to follow. Allow me put a text box and then I type that here. I'm going to elongate it there. What you see there, Canadian Journal of Psychiatry is our title proper. Now, before giving the parallel title, I leave one space and I'm typing the equal sign and then another space. And then now I'll give the parallel title, which is Rev Canadien. Even in French, you capitalize the name of the country. Canadien de Psychiatrie. If you have time, please study French if you want to be rich. And that is one of the international languages. Most jobs, they require you to be knowing French. So this is a very good example of a title proper. Before giving the parallel title, space, equal sign, space, review Canadian de psychiatry. I think this is a good one, but I also have another example. Now, the second example, it is twisted. The French wording is the title proper. And then the parallel title is what is in English. So Carter Stradell Dolachiconi is the title proper, and its parallel title after a space. After this space and the equal sign space, it is the roadmap of Chiconi. So those of you who stay in Chiconi, if you are directing someone, you give them a roadmap of your place. In French, it is Carter Stradell de la Chiconi. I'll remove those wordings and then we proceed. Give parallel titles appearing outside the chief source of information in a note. In case the parallel title wasn't appearing on the material you are cataloging, you'll give that information in the note area. And an example is of a note given in the note area is title on container, the 4 seasons. So that shows that this information was not from the chief source of information, so we give it in the note area. I need to confirm that you are following the title proper and the parallel title. We are done. We are moving to other title information. I therefore check in the chat to confirm that Numbers is hearing me loud and clear. Numbers confirm that you can hear me now. Martha has confirmed she wasn't raising her hand. Numbers can hear. So I hope everybody survived what happened yesterday. I earlier communicated there was an intern in IPS building. I went there to supervise her the other week. She was not at work. I was supposed to go on Monday. She had already sent an email that she's being sent to dispatch mails. And yesterday I was visiting her, but I started by invigilating an exam from 9 to noon. And it was at 10 that they got that challenge before I could go there. So those were the audio messages I sent in the group. She got injured while exiting the building using the stairs. She was on the 8th floor. But I think the injury was not bad. She was treated at KCC clinic. I'm just hoping that each one of you is safe. Other title information is what I want to look at next. In case you do not have questions, if Nakazwe has a question or any other person, please raise it before I continue. It looks like everybody is following, so I'll proceed. Other title information is subfield B. You will notice that even the parallel title is also input in subfield B, but still in the main field 245. So let us not get confused. It is only the punctuations which differ. For parallel title, we use the equal sign. For other title, we shall see that we use a a colon, rather a space, colon, space. Other title information is transcribed using the same rules as for the title proper. Other title information includes but is not limited to subtitles. If there is more than one kind of other title info, each follows its own space, colon, space. If a publication has more than one other title information, then each of them will have its own space, colon, space. And I have some examples here, of course, using content which is old. And now I want to edit this when everybody is watching, because the first example, Chiza Vesige, is the title proper. And they were telling us that this is a video recording. And as I said earlier, and I want to edit, this does not apply anymore. So this one you delete. And because it does not apply, we have to introduce area O at the beginning there, assuming it was there. Our area O term would be image. And I've put it there. So it is after that image that we would go to record the title proper. This one is deleted. And now we would go to give the other title. The other title is the man who made his name. And there is a problem with the other title, which I've already highlighted today. I want you to go to the chat room and identify the error with the other title information. I'm moving to the chat to see if anybody can identify the error in the other title information. And it is to do with Appendix A, which you have not seen, but we mentioned earlier. What is the problem in the other title information?